All right, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, listener submissions. AITA for ending a mediocre first date after 10 minutes. I recently went out with a girl from Bumble. We got drinks at a bar, and I knew from the first minute that it wasn't going to work. She wasn't as good looking as her pictures, and I personally thought she was really boring since we don't have much in common. She was nice and clearly put effort into her appearance and outfit, but there was no spark. I debated waiting the courtesy 45 minutes to an hour, but realized I would much rather be at home where I could get things done or watch Netflix. In other words, watch Netflix. After 10 minutes, I told her I thought she was nice, but it wasn't going to work. I asked to split the check and bailed. I could tell she felt offended, but I feel like I did both of us a favor since we both didn't waste 45 minutes of our lives. AITA for ending the date so early. I feel like I saved us both lots of time, especially since in her profile it says she was looking for a relationship.
Clearly this has to do with looks. This guy, I'm going to call him superficial. He was out the minute he saw her, which
right.
I'm offended, but he's clearly, maybe she didn't look like her pictures, sure.
All he says is she wasn't as good looking as her pictures. To me, that's a far cry from her pictures were very deceiving. So what? So she put up a particularly good picture, but it's not like she was lying.
Let's be honest. Everyone's lying on there. That's the best we've ever looked from the last 2 to 3 years. Okay. Bottom line.
I would definitely rearrange my thoughts if, for instance, she was 50 pounds heavier, like a really big mark of deception. If you went on a Bumble date with a guy and he said he was 6'2" and you show up and he's 5'7".
This happens to me all the time. What are you talking about? This happens all the time.
6-inch lie.
Sure.
And are you out?
I've gone on a lot of dates at this point, from Bumble, from Hinge, from Tinder, you name it, I've been there. And the first 30 seconds, you can tell everybody is so nervous because you're just being evaluated on how you look, which is very stressful. And that's why online dating is very superficial and sort of scary. But when you meet a guy at a bar, like, I don't have a measuring stick. I'm just like, is he a little taller than me? And also, could I handle if he's not? Okay, great. Now we're off and running. But then someone's personality can really sway you.
So let's say they're 6'2",
right?
And you're about my height, 5'7", and then the guy shows up and he's 5'6",
right?
Are you then like, I feel deceived, I'm upset, I'm ready to bail?
Did he do this to try to trick me or because he's mean? No. Clearly, that's something he's insecure about. Do I feel great at the beginning? No. Am I going to leave after I first see? That's what this guy wanted to do, bottom line.
Because the guy or the girl in this case, they wanted to get in the door, right? Like they wanted to get the interview, so to speak. So they trumpeted themselves up a bit. Personally, I don't think...
Every resume is a lie.
I don't think this counts for full-on lying, what she did.
No.
But you're saying you go on a date with a guy and yes, he fudged the numbers on his height, but that's not an instant deal breaker.
Everybody's lying about something on a dating app. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. Every picture, I can't show up and look the way I do in that. There's no way.
Right. Oh, really? There's no waterfall constantly behind you? No, I'm out. No, thank you.
This filter's off on your face. Why isn't the filter there? It's like, hey, Bruce, sit down, you know?
Meg Peterson writes, did you find out you didn't have anything in common before or after you determined she wasn't as attractive as her photos?
Yes.
I think we're definitely going to get stuck on this point. I don't think that because what he said is just that she wasn't as good looking as her pictures, that should be a deal breaker. I think that's ridiculous. Right. I certainly would understand. I think it's great that you're more tolerant. But if you ended a date after 10 minutes because a guy showed up and lied about his height, or if that happened to a guy, girl lies about her height or her weight or something like that, and it's a lie. We're talking about a big difference. I think that's acceptable. I don't think that's what happened here. I think it's acceptable to peace after 10 minutes on a date if the person like distinctly lied.
This is a thing rough, okay? Because, and I've gone on a date where I have met the person, they've either opened their mouth or I've seen them and I'll know I'm not interested. I'm not attracted. I don't think this will go anywhere. It doesn't matter if he has the best personality. I can't.
Right.
I'm out. Now I have to decide if I'm going to break this person as a human. Am I going to break him?
By leaving right away.
How do you think she feels? not great because
Right.
it couldn't be her personality, and she knows that.
So you've had that thought where you're like, it would be hurtful if I just pieced, but so I'm not going to do it because I'm a human being.
I'm like, listen, this is a human to human interaction. I've told a guy after 10 minutes on a date, like I see us as friends, how are you doing on the date? And I've helped him go through his profile and talk to a girl he was texting.
Wow.
He became sort of like a friend. We were texting a little bit after, and I was helping him with this girl.
I'm so happy that I got Mother Teresa on the podcast.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sarah Carter writes, YTA, you saved what? 30 minutes of your time? That's one episode of The Office. Chill out. Because that's this guy's main point. He's like, I saved us time.
Her whole night is ruined.
Yes.
If you think her whole night's not ruined, you're crazy.
Right. And my point on that note was I'm going to punch OP in the face and run away and say, oh, I did you a favor. We could have wasted 15 minutes of our life fist fighting. Right? A lot of people do these things. They're rude about these things. Like their time is so important. And I've said it once. I'll say it again. Are you a neurosurgeon on your way to perform neurosurgery? Please, people.
Come on.
This is a human to human interaction. Does it need to be explained the implications of that?
Come on, dude. If I were left in a bar after 10 minutes and asked to split the bill, I would have to sit there after with a bartender and get a shot or two and be like, that was hard. How long will it be till I go put myself out there again and meet another dude in a fucking crappy bar?
Scarring. Cody Milford writes, I once had someone text me as I was waiting for her to say she saw me and didn't want to waste my time because she wasn't that attracted to me in person. And taking time out of my day for someone that immediately bailed also sucked.
First of all, that bitch could have lied.
She saw him and then pieced?
That's so mean. She could have easily said, hey, I'm tied up at work. I also don't think this is going to work out. Or like, I'm actually not going to date anymore. So sorry. Is anybody thinking about anyone else's psyche? That's such a selfish bonehead move. Hey, I saw you.
I like that you said earlier that this guy's super superficial. It's so true. You know, you can be attracted to someone's personality. Maybe if you give them a fucking second. 10 minutes is 600 seconds. Can you give them maybe 1,000 seconds?
This guy didn't give her 10 minutes. He gave her 2 and then had 8 minutes of figuring out how he's going to get out of it. And if he wanted to actually hurt her feelings, look her in the eye and say, you know what? I'm leaving. You want to split this? It's going to take about 6 minutes for them to get the check and be like, wow, that was weird.
Now, the one argument that I kept running into, and people were pissing me off, even including future co-host and my friend, Sarah Carter writes, actually, I think he did do her a favor by allowing her to dodge a bullet. Now, I think Sarah was joking, but no, that doesn't work. You can't just you can't just do that shit.
No.
Corey Magnuson writes, so why does she want to be on a date any longer than she has to since he sucks so much? I think he's doing them both a favor. No, you could say that for any shitty thing. Oh, good thing he stole your purse on the first date. You could have been in a relationship with a thief.
Just think about the person's feelings for a half second. Would you want this to happen to you?
No, I want to go on the rejecting date where then you help the guy out and you look at his profile and you help optimize it. Human to human interaction.
Yeah, can we just take a moment and realize we're all so wounded because we're assholes to each other?
And on this note of dodging a bullet, I also just wanted to say being an asshole and acting like an asshole so that people know you're an asshole, that's not doing any favors. That's just being an asshole.
Totally.
There's just no way to defend this kind of behavior. I think it is pervasive. I think it's common. And I can see submitter being like, so people do it all the time. So it's horrible. Be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you, Gandhi. No one is saying you have to date this person.
No.
Just treat them like a human, have an interaction, and have the open mind to realize that just because you don't want to boink her, maybe you can learn something from her or about the world and find out she grew up in a farm on Kansas.
Right.
And did you know that the pastures roll and they're beautiful? I don't know.
Did you know that? If you decide to meet in person, treat her like a person.
Spot on.
Thank you.
I think we agree. AITA for ending a mediocre first date after 10 minutes. You're the asshole.
Yeah, dude.